It's the Line Makers on Sporting News.
It's one of the big boys this Saturday in college football for the Line Makers on Sporting News. Brian Blessing with Kenny White. Let's get ready. Oklahoma, Texas. Now, this is an interesting one for you. We're talking Oklahoma, Kenny, a 3.5-point favorite in this game. But in the Don Best Line Makers poll, we're looking at Oklahoma, a 1.5-point favorite on a neutral field. Well, it's a neutral field. It's in Jerry's World, but it's in Texas, but the place is so big. You say it will be a 50-50 crowd?
Oh, yeah, it's always a 50-50 crowd. They have the right favorite, but when you look at the poll, the number 6 team against the number 10 team, 1.5 is about, I think, as big as difference this game should be.
So clearly, even with the hook out there at 3.5, you're looking at it as a take?
I think so. I think the dog in this game is always a live dog. Big revenge as well on the Texas side.
How about Texas, though, coming off their first loss? At least Oklahoma had a chance to regroup from their loss to Kansas State and handled Texas Tech last week.
Yeah, and I think Texas Tech was very overrated because of the schedule they played early in the season. So that win is really not as good as it looks. Landry Jones has not been the same quarterback without Ryan Broyles, the wide receiver. And David Ash for Texas, he's putting up huge numbers. This kid's the better quarterback out of the two.
Head-to-head, Brown's actually done pretty well against Stoops, especially ATS.
Yeah, I think he has. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but Mac Brown has always done very well in these big, high-profile games. And these are two of the better coaches in the country, that's for sure.
For Oklahoma,
Stoops and Brown.
Yeah, for Oklahoma, it's that simple, isn't it? Landry Jones, protect the football. You would think, with all the experience he has, he wouldn't be making some of the mistakes he's been making.
I'm very surprised with the number of interceptions that Landry Jones has had. And I think the Texas defense actually is better than the Oklahoma D. And like I said, I think David Ash is the better quarterback between the two. Ash is 6'3", 225. He's definitely going to be a first-round pro guy. Landry Jones will be too, but I think he's overrated.
There is an interesting footnote to this game, and it surrounds the total. Tell me about what the number is and what's the significance of it.
Well, the 61 is the highest total in at least the last 10 years that these two teams have ever played.
What do you think pace of play?
They're both are about average pace of play teams, just a solid defense. They're not the really crazy up-tempo, fast-paced offenses they used to be. Big game, a lot of meaning. Hard to believe a total could be 61 between these two.
All right, it's a big game. As we mentioned, number 6, Oklahoma, number 10, Texas, in the Don Best Line Makers poll, which is available to you here with all our editorial content. The Line Makers on Sporting News. It's going to be a good one. Oklahoma, a 3.5-point favorite when they go against Texas. And again, it's a neutral site game. They'll be playing this one at Jerry's World.